So Oracle is set to start rounds of layoffs. So far in the Austin area, it says some Austin employees impacted by job cuts in marketing. I mean, it's a great article to write, but let's look at least a dozen local employees. So not that many employees were let go. But obviously we're seeing big tech layoffs. What are your thoughts on stuff like this popping up?
Yeah, it's not that many right now. But being that Oracle is one of the, what did they say, top 15 companies, employers here, that's a little disconcerting. And then later in the article, it announced some of the others that are an impact. So Netflix, Carvana here, Tesla, obviously we've seen. And if it becomes a trend around tech companies, well, Austin, I mean, we've grown so substantially because of the tech industry. So I think that's going to be a factor. To keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on is all.
Yeah. So this is what one of the employees said. It says one employee with the company Oracle's cloud marketing cloud organization described layoffs as organized restructuring. Others reference widespread layoffs at Oracle, ACX, or Oracle advertising customer experience. So it sounds like there's going to probably be more layoffs coming. Well, I mean, obviously we last week had Sarah on, and a clip that we put out was talking about the Biden administration changing the term recession. But some people, and on my on the channel, I put up a poll to see how many people thought we were actually in a recession versus. So the question, the responses were yes, no, or too early to tell. 76% of people said we were in a recession currently. So
you also have the CEO of Google and the CEO of Meta, aka Facebook, that have both said, "Hey, we and there was another company that have said, hey, we're kind of fluffy when it comes to employees." Right. So that seems to be a trend among a lot of the tech CEOs right now.
Interesting. Yeah. So in the article that you stated too, the tech industry has been especially vulnerable in hiring turbulence in recent months. The U.S. economy teetering on the brink of recession, which, a July 28 report for Indeed indicated that job postings in the country's tech hubs, San Francisco, Seattle, and Austin, were cited decline down 8.4%. I think one of the things I'd heard with Tesla too, it was the fact that they were saying that some of these were jobs that just hadn't filled yet. So they were just not hiring for those positions. So it could be, if you look at Austin, we're still 2.6, maybe 2.5 months or 2.5 or 6% unemployment rate, which is like stupid low. So maybe they restructured some of these. Do you think that this is going to be these little cracks that we're seeing? We'll call these little cracks, right? Little, tech companies like this starting to say, hey, we're either not going to move as many people to Austin or we're going to lay off. Do you think these cracks in the facade could be what brings Austin down a peg or sends us into a housing problem?
Well,
I guess that's the question.
It goes back to the question that I ask probably every time we do a Real Migos podcast. And it's, if people could choose to live in either place, people that were relocating, specifically people that were relocating, if they could choose to live where they were or here, many of them moved for the job opportunity or maybe something political, right? But mostly it's the job opportunity, right? And so if the job opportunity...
I did a post on the overturning of Roe versus Wade, how in the recent Texas rules when it comes to that, how that would impact. It was kind of mixed on that as well. I mean, it was probably like 50-50 what people thought it would be an impact versus people that didn't, and people thought it's too early to tell. So, I mean, I don't know if that's an impact. I mean, you'll have to write that in the comments if you think that's an impact. I don't want to get too much into that topic, but you and I have talked about that topic as well.
And that's why I go back to just saying mostly it's for the money and the quality of life. And if somebody's living on the beach in California, coming to Austin, unless you know what you're expecting, it's just a different style of living. And if you don't have to relocate, or if you can go back, I could see that being an impact, and I always have. I've always seen that.
Yeah, wasn't it Aaron or somebody in the comments a couple of weeks ago said that? I don't think you were on the live stream for that one, but he said that his neighbors were being sent back to California.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm talking specifically if most things remain the same. So if you have a $10 million house in California and you come here and you have a $10 million house, your life isn't going to change a whole lot, right?
Well, I mean, the next article is going to go into if you're moving from California because your rents are too expensive and you're moving to Austin, whose rents are also more expensive
market.
Where would you rather be? Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the problem with some of these tech companies that they're starting to face is that Austin grew so quickly. I mean, let's be honest. We always had a lot of growth, but it was partly the pandemic. And then when Elon announced that they were coming here, that is when I think the market really just took off. So I think we got drunk on the Elon juice, and now I think everybody's a little hungover.
No, the prices were good also, right? Like you were able to get a house for $200,000, $250,000 before that announcement.
J-Rod, welcome, says Austin market's strength is in its stable employment in state government, large medical facility employers. Then you need to go back and look at tech growth driving expansion. Yep.
There's a lot of medical for sure. That's a big one. I think state and government, that's including things like like UT.
Oh yeah. Right?
And Dell's been here forever, and they own lots of companies. We've been stable forever, and I think that's one thing that the reason why Austin State's so stable is because we have such a variety of different industries that we support. So it's great. I
mean, we've become more tech dependent for sure, so that doesn't necessarily help, but that has become a bigger thing. I mean, to J-Rod's point. What's pretty interesting though, I like these comments. Moved here for affordable housing, but definitely missed the Bay Area. So it's definitely still cheaper than the Bay Area. Even if we look at
it is cheaper than the Bay Area, but how many people really love the weather here? Like really, I am one of those people. I'm fine with it being 100 degrees for the next 2 months. I'm fine with that. I don't know if I'll be able to do that
for over 100 degrees for the next 2 months. I'm looking at my wife off camera here, trying to see, she's not listening, but trying to see if she loves the heat as much as you do. Her face did this.
No way, man. I'm gonna go wakeboarding tomorrow. I'm good. I love this. This is good. I'm cool.
Yeah, we had to. So it's funny. So we came down. We're in South Padre right now. So in South Padre, it's 102 right now, and it's probably like 105 in Austin. So I definitely could kick the AC on in here. Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.